Every franchise involving a battle of heroes and villains will always have those few characters that control a power that is greater than the others. Silver, the time-traveling psychokinetic hedgehog, and Takanuva, the Tao of Light. I'm one fish mob, and it's my job to see who would win in a fight. Dr. Eggman, the biggest threat in the Sonic franchise, being responsible for many of its monstrous leviathans, world-devouring gods, several problems, and many evil doings. Several heroes arose to combat this threat in his robotic army to protect all of Mobius. But no other hero is quite as powerful as the one known as Silver. Silver hailed from a point at some time in Mobius' future on several occasions, even traveling back in time in an effort to better his world by saving the world from a great danger and even becoming one of the fighters against Eggman. Silver is definitely one of the franchise's strongest characters. He has high physical durability, super speed like that of most of its fellow hedgehogs, enhanced jumping strengths, but his most used power is no doubt his psychokinesis. Psychokinesis is the ability to manipulate the world around oneself, and Silver is a definite master at this mental art. He is able to lift, grab, and move up to 50 tons. Silver can use it on himself for flight. He can bend meter-thick steel bars, crush robots with a single grab, and even stop time itself. He can use this ability to grab onto non-solid attacks such as fireballs and certain types of energy blasts. And he can project pure psychic energy that can be manipulated into energy-based attacks such as blades, pulses, and burst energy to paralyze his targets. But when he needs an extra boost in power, he will access his super form to become Super Silver. In this state, Silver gains a 1000% power increase complete with automatic flight and invincibility, as well as making his already powerful psychokinesis stronger. But like with any super form in the Sonic universe, it has a time limit. Even with that said, Silver is one not to judge based solely on appearance. He traveled 200 years back from the future, defeated Solaris with help from Sonic and Shadow of course, can fly at over Mach 2 speeds, fought both Sonic and Shadow to standstills, and held his own against Enerjack. But Silver is not perfect. Silver is inexperienced, insecure when left alone, has a certain aura of arrogance, and is quite naive. No matter how you put it, Silver is one of the strongest characters in the Sonic universe. In the world of Bionicles, there lived a Bionicle named Takanuva. Takanuva was the first Matoran to be created and was quite adventurous. Upon meeting Tao Matagali, he told her that one day he would be a great hero himself. After this, he lost his memory during the time slip and was taken away to Metronui by the order of Matanui in disguise as a Tamatoran. He later moved to Matanui, where he eventually became the Chronicler, and after donning the Kanohi Avaki, he transformed into Tao Takanuva, the prophesied 7th Tao and the only Tao of Light. As a Tao, Takanuva has many abilities. Takanuva is able to effortlessly leap great distances and even at one point glide. All Taos have shared powers. All Taos can erect energy shields that can block and even throw back enemy attacks and can be used to absorb energy, which he can then use to form an attack with energy spheres. Takanuva was a prominent Kolhi player himself prior to his transformation into a Tao, which is essentially their version of hockey. With this knowledge, he went on to utilize these skills and incorporate them into his combat style. But no warrior is complete without his equipment. Takanuva wears the Great Mask of Light. This mask gives him control over the element of light and gives him the powers to control light in both the physical and the moral sense of the word, and bring about understanding in other creatures and sense the light within them, thus making it easy for him to detect enemies. He also carries the Staff of Light. Despite its simple design, Takanuva used the light staff to its fullest potential. The staff is capable of focusing Takanuva's powers into concentrated beams or to fire 2 energy orbs in a single swing. The staff never needs to recharge, and to aid in his style of combat, the staff's original function was as a tool for the game of Kolhi. But Takanuva has also held other weapons in his time, like the Medak Sky Blaster, a long-range weapon that absorbs light from its surroundings. The Medak Blaster fires the light in the form of powerful orbs of energy, but Takanuva had to use this weapon sparingly since overuse would use up all the light in his surroundings, and possibly end the world. He also wields the Power Lance, a weapon that was claimed to be 10 millennia ahead of its time. The Power Lance can focus and magnify elemental energy to form a devastating beam of light. Even the slightest spark of light can become a destructive laser blast. But he eventually ditched these weapons for the Staff and Mask of Light again, though they are no longer part of his arsenal. As an Avmatoran, Takanuva has a natural affinity to the element of light, and with this comes the Power of Light. He can shoot laser beams powerful enough to break apart solid rock or incapacitate the powerful rock sheet. He can form and shoot orbs of light or create sudden flashes. Takanuva can bend light around him to alter the colors of his armor, create holograms of himself, and once attempted to move at light speed, though it's not clear how much he's progressed in that department. And after being bitten by a Shadow Leech, he gained the power of shadows. Against all odds, he has learned to use these new dark powers remarkably fast. Takanuva can create shadow bolts or create massive blasts of darkness, but the influence of shadows altered his personality as well, making him more violent and prone to more aggressive means. As well as light and shadows canceling each other out, he can only use one power at a time, until Clack reversed this process, removing the power of shadows in the process. But its most powerful attack is the Nova Blast. To do this attack, Takanuva charges up and expels his elemental energy all at once into a massive, devastating attack. The consequences of this attack are catastrophic and always respond to their user's elemental affinity. But considering that the Nova Blast takes some time to charge, uses up all of their elemental energy, which also takes time to recharge, and in some cases can even destroy the user himself, Tao used this ability sparingly. And when he had his shadow powers, he had the Shadow Nova Blast. With the power of shadows, he could execute a move similar to a Nova Blast, and is powerful enough to take down an entire swarm of Niazis Krahi. Takanuva has proven himself to be a powerful warrior. He single-handedly defeated Makuta Pterodax, defeated the main honcho almost all by himself, overthrew the dystopian Tao Empire, turned the tide against Pterodax's forces on Barra Magna, and managed to fight off 2 powerful Makutas and their set of clones, despite being deaf and mute at the time. But Takanuva is not perfect. Takanuva seems to have some pretty bad karma on his side. He has suffered from amnesia 3 times. His powers and skills have changed so many times that it's almost difficult to determine his default setting, as well as his transformation into a Tao of Twilight. This made Takanuva's light energy fade away and wouldn't recharge after it was used, and should he use up all of it, it would transform into a creature of shadows. Though this form didn't last long, as a supersonic screech of an Arahi restored his original powers and colors. Takanuva is one of the legendary Taos for a reason, and any evil that wishes to spread darkness will always have to face the light.
Fight!
So why did Takanuva win? Silver is extremely powerful and his psychokinesis could keep Takanuva on his toes, but power alone is hardly enough to overpower Takanuva at his best. Even with his psychokinesis involved, Silver's battles against the likes of Sonic demonstrate there's only so much he can accomplish. Especially against the Tao that can go toe-to-toe or even one-shot opponents that usually requires the efforts of several Takanuva to beat, and faces similar telekinetic powers on a daily basis, as well as other factors. Silver may be fast enough to counter the charging time of a Nova Blast or Shadow Nova Blast, but Takanuva on the other hand was hinted that he had begun to tap into the powers of light to achieve light speed. Even assuming he mastered only 1% of this, that still means he can go around 6,700 miles per hour, which is about the same as Mach 8,800, making Silver look like a snail in comparison. So Takanuva exceeds Silver in terms of power and speed, but there's still one more question that needs answering. Can Takanuva keep his ground against Super Silver? With Super Silver's invulnerability and the ability to control reality, this form could spell doom for Takanuva. But it only lasts for a limited amount of time, and so does Silver's advantage. Since Takanuva has powers to block energy-based attacks, repel and throw back both physical and energetic projectiles, and can create hard-like holograms of himself as decoys, he has more than enough means to stall for time until Silver's super form wears out. It's not like Silver could simply destroy the Mask of Light either. After all, the mask did survive a dip in lava upon its discovery, and was extracted without as much as a scratch. On average, lava temperatures can reach up to 15,000 degrees Kelvin. The mask was submerged in it for about 15 seconds, and could have gone even longer. At the very least, that's like having 4 hand grenades that blow up in your face all at once. Sorry, Sonic fans, but it looks like there's no silver lining here. The winner is Takanuva.